Hello Raiders, this is Ezron. Welcome to my Bastion. It is day 9 of my $20 challenge account, and as I mentioned yesterday, I was a little bit disappointed I didn't get Kale to 6-star. I'm going to work on that later in the video, but I think it's also important to note that the Galek Path event ended last night. Personally, I think this is a neat event, and once the Kale Path comes up, I plan on going really hard at it to try to get I think it's called a split soul or a partial soul for my Kale. I think that will make a huge difference in his general level of capability with the attack bonus. In the meantime, I just do events as I would normally do them and collect points. So I think I got enough here to get, let's see, 5,400 points. So 15, 16, 17, 3,000 to 4,400 points. I can get to here and then clean up some of the other side. Personally, I value souls for rare champions higher than I value the champion themselves, partially because Galek isn't that good. Partially because, just pulling Ancient Charge, you'll get enough of these that you'll have one eventually. So I'm not super worried about getting the champion. So I'm going to go collect up all of these real fast. I think the anniversary points are a nice bonus. But soul there, super helpful. Rare book might also be nice when it comes time for that. And then the split soul, so a little bit stronger. I have 1,000 points left. I will not get to there. Also won't get to collect the other hero points, or sorry, 4th year anniversary points. So collect up some gems, and then we'll see just what else I can get with what is left over. 600 points. So overall, not bad, and that about drains all of the points I gathered. The conversion rate of these points to silver is really low. I wouldn't really think it's wise to hold on to any more than you have to. So that's a nice bonus right there. And then in theory, this is sort of a test. The Ultra of Souls opens at level 42. I've gotten several souls already that should be there when I get there. Hopefully the souls don't go to the trash can if the altar is unlocked, but we'll see about that. So that's sort of a sidelight, and won't apply to new accounts who weren't created around the time of the Heroes Path events. The thing I wanted to talk about a lot more was getting Kale to level 60. Fundamentally, I got annoyed and tired of the clicking. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 5-star foods, and then I'm going to feed one of these 2 champions for the last 5th star to get Kale to 60. But with a relatively low energy cap, and only the efficiency of farming 6-4 or 6-6 brutal, it was just a lot of clicking and didn't really get a whole lot of the level of forward progress I wanted. So I thought to myself, I have some shards, I'm going to go summon some. Then the important thing happened when I looked at the Mercy System tab. Where is that? Oh, sorry, I was there in the first place. Now, if you look at some videos from other content creators who are, in the content creator program, you'll see that down here you have this new player text, which apparently is a test that they're letting go for some accounts and not others. Now, what's interesting is you're basically guaranteed on the 5th Ancient Shard to get a legendary. Now, I pulled one Ancient Shard by accident, just with a focus problem the other day, and got a crappy rare that I'm not going to use. So in theory, the next Ancient Shard I pull is going to be 25%, then 50. So at no later than the 4th shard should I get a legendary. And at this level of account, it should make a huge difference in my ability to do things. Especially if it's some sort of progression related champ or an arena champ or someone with an ability I don't have. Basically, I'm looking for anything that doesn't require a bazillion books it'll be even better if it's a progression champ or generally applicable champion that will help me do things. So I'm going to do a 10 pull. The goal is to verify that the new player legendary system works, which it should according to what I've done so far, as well as maybe get an epic or a couple of other rares that are generally useful and that I will want to worry about building on my account. From yesterday's video, or maybe the day before that, I do have the feast standing by, so in theory it should be easy to get this champion to be 6-star after I get Kale there very, very easily. So I'm going to go click in and see who I get. Then I guess the last thing I'll mention before we pull is my other slight desire is just a champion I don't have on my other account. It would be nice to have a different play experience here. And that's really, you know, the differentiator and why raid is interesting is depending on the champions you get and the RNG you experience, you might have a very different experience. So I'm hoping for something interesting here, and without blabbering on anymore, here we go. So no later than the 5th shard, I am expecting a legendary. First, oh, on the 3rd one, there we go. A Longbeard. So that is super, super interesting from the perspective of he's the best or second best ally attack champion in the game. Really the important thing is that, you know, damage increases by 20%, so you don't lose the ally attack penalty. It's not as interesting from the perspective of I have like 3 or 4 copies of him on a main account, but, you know, super happy to have him. I do think that it will help progression. Also neat here is we have a Bog Walker and a Coffin Smasher. They perform largely the same duty as a rare in that they're A1 attack downs. I will probably build Coffin Smasher. Looking here, 30% chance on a 3-hitter for a decrease attack. So with mastery, you get to 35%. So you can generally expect it will happen on every A1 compared to on Bog Walker. 30% chance. 40, so a slightly worse chance, so a 50% chance on one attack, so half and half, versus probably like an 80% or 90% chance on the other one once I do the math. The main difference is I think the passives are better. 30% reflect damage when attacked with a critical hit. You can't rely on Clan Boss to crit you, and you probably wouldn't want that because he would hit real hard, compared to his passive, which is straight up damage reduction. So I'm going to go build Coffin Smasher, and I have another copy. So he is a book. He might get built for Lizardman Faction Wars, but that's about it. And then Executioner for the permanent fusion, the Relic Keeper fusion, which is helpful. I don't think any of these other champs are really useful. I hate to think about building Gory, but I might just for that Faction Wars room. But he also doesn't really rise to the level of a good champ. And a little bit of lag. Extra hit if, so he has a freeze mechanic. Oh, he can freeze people. Ignore increased defense and shields, and actually he doesn't seem as bad as I thought. I've never built him on my main account, so he might get put in the vault just for the Shadowkin Faction Wars vault. So overall, pretty happy there. I also have food to get Kale to 6-star. So I can say I'm really, really pleased about the Mercy system. And what's interesting here is if you'll see the text about the new player experience disappeared between me not getting the champion and getting the champion. So I think that's also interesting. They sort of erase the evidence that that's there. But I think it's something that's nice. It helps players catch up. Hopefully I'll be able to use Longbeard on this account to make some good progress. Thanks for watching the video. I'm going to go grind out a little bit, and then we'll check back either late today or tomorrow with what happened here. This is Ezron. Thanks for your time.